it okay?
Sure.
Okay, so the first of all, could you please introduce business overview of Inspire e-commerce solution and the scale of its fulfillment operations?
Awesome. Fantastic. So yeah, first and foremost, thank you, Yuri and the team for being able to take the time and doing this interview. My name is Darwin. I am the founder and CEO of Inspire e-commerce solutions. What is Inspire e-commerce solutions? What we are is that we help growing brands scale their operations in the Philippines by giving them the technology to be able to do so, but also the operational infrastructure, which comes in the services of warehousing and fulfillment. So technology and services is what we do, and what we've been doing, interestingly enough, June of this year marks our first year.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are
for the anniversary.
Yeah, I just got off. We had our monthly management meeting with the entire company, and we were just celebrating, or at least talking about how we are now making, one full year. I believe we started, it was June 12th of last year. It's essentially when we launched. Yeah, so it's that's the journey that we're in. To give you context of maybe just how far along we are in the journey. We started from absolutely zero 12 months ago.
Okay.
Right? Since inception, we're now working with some of the largest brands, not only in the Philippines, but also globally. So we provide fulfillment for a lot of growing brands here in the Philippines, such as DMD Skin Essentials, which is one of the biggest brands locally in the Philippines. We work with companies like Havaianas that are international, right? They are in multiple countries. They're originally from Brazil. We are the fulfillment arm for companies like Coca-Cola, essentially providing them the technology and the operational infrastructure for their online operations in a wide range of companies. Our portfolio is well over 20 companies since we've started, and local companies, regional companies across Southeast Asia. And of course, companies been in the space, or at least they've been, I guess their company's been operational from what I was told over 100 years.
Yeah.
So it's a very long time. So yes, the catalog of companies is pretty wide range in spectrum, and we've grown pretty significantly over the last 12 months.
I see. Thank you so much. And next, we would like to ask you about the reality of the Philippine logistic industry. So
the reality is pretty brutal. It is by far one of the most challenging spaces that I've operated in. Being that there's a lot of challenges that in Japan you might not be accustomed to, that are very normal, in this part of the world, but even more so in the Philippines. So definitely, I would say, so my background, I come from the US, and that's kind of, where I was raised. And I'm not Filipino, by the way. I've been in the Philippines for 11 years now. But I've been in the Philippines for 11 years now.
Wow.
And it is by far one of the most challenging markets, just for a lot of reasons. Number one, cash on delivery is very prominent here.
Yes. Maybe I will ask about that point later. So could you please describe the challenging facing Philippine logistic industry from the perspective of shippers, 3PLs, delivery companies, and consumers?
Yeah. So some of the problems, and we face this, at least from the 3PL's perspective and the brands, as I was mentioning earlier, of course, having this be a cash on delivery nation, right, creates its own set of unique barriers and challenges to operate within those confines, number one. Number two, the fact that the Philippines is an archipelago, and it is composed of thousands and thousands of islands, right, which makes logistics a lot more challenging than it needs to, right? The e-commerce market has grown significantly in the Philippines since inception, but it is still far from what is considered like a first world country, right? Or non-archipelago countries where, shipping times can extend up to 2 weeks at times for customers, where those are not normal shipping times, right? Customer behavior is very different in the Philippines, right? So from a 3PL perspective, from a brand perspective, adapting to the mindset of the Filipino buyers is imperative, right? Especially for a lot of the brands that we work with that are entering the Philippines. It's things that they need to learn. From a consumer standpoint, of course, because it is an archipelago, naturally you have higher shipping costs that generally wouldn't be applicable in normal countries, because you don't have to take things by plane and they don't have to go by boat, right? So just the longer the trajectory, the more steps in the process, the more of the cost that usually is shouldered by the consumer, right? So they pay significantly higher cost, but also the waiting periods of getting an item, right? So, I come from the US, where you have next day delivery, Amazon Prime. You order something today, you can get it tomorrow. Now there is same day delivery, where you order something today and you can get it within the same day. Here, it's a lot more difficult, both for the 3PL, but also the consumer. So we both share the same challenges in many ways.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you. So the next question, could you tell us about the entire process from order receipt to delivery to the consumer? What is the actual timeline for the process right now?
So for us, we follow very strict SLA. So in the Philippines, maybe it's different in Japan, but a lot of the e-commerce volume comes from marketplaces, which are platforms like Shopee, Lazada, TikTok. And, because most of the volume is generated and driven by these marketplaces have very strict requirements. What we like to call them is SLAs, service level agreements. So essentially what that means is that when an order is created, the marketplaces give you a period of time, which is generally within a 24-hour period, that the 3PL needs to make sure that this order is shipped and handed over to the courier. Okay. And because most of the volume for the brands comes from these marketplaces, the marketplaces have certain guidelines that if us, the 3PL, don't meet those guidelines, or brands and our partners would be the ones that get affected. So it's kind of like a letter grading score. So if you do well with the marketplaces will promote your store.
I see.
But if you are not meeting the criteria that the marketplaces are giving you, they will penalize your store to the point that they will even ban your store and just completely having you, right? Because they want everyone to meet these SLAs because it creates a better customer experience. And you as the customer will say, you know what, I'm going to go buy in Shopee because Shopee has good delivery service, right? Or TikTok. So the marketplaces are competing with themselves.
I see.
On who provides the best service. And then that trickles down to us because they force us to be able to match those shipping times, right? And then, of course, the brand is affected. So that's why one of the things that I tell the brands, and, we speak to many brands, and my advice to them is like, hey, be very careful on who your 3PL is, because you are bringing an extension to your brand into the equation, right? Like, we are a representation of the brands that we work with. Because if we don't do our jobs well, their brand is the one that gets affected.
Yeah, affected. Yes, exactly. Right? I see.
And of course, we are the ones that are handling the customer journey. So naturally, if we are not shipping out in time, the brand gets affected. If we are shipping out incorrect items, the brand gets affected, right? So we are an extension of the brand.
So it's very important.
It's very important that you choose the right partner. Now, what does the process look like? Well, for us, we are one of the few 3PLs, I think, regionally that have built our technology around the service. So we're not a traditional 3PL. And the way that I like to actually tell our clients is I like to consider ourselves more of a technology company first. So first, we're a technology company that offers services in warehousing and fulfillment versus the inverse, where most 3PLs, they are a warehouse and fulfillment company that uses technology.
I see.
For us, we're a technology company first. And of course, the services. So the way that it works is very simple. When a brand wants to partner with us, we give them access to our platform, which is Fusion.
Yes.
This Fusion platform, it is what connects across all of their channels. So if you have what we like to call an omni-channel distribution, and what omni-channel means is that you're selling on all places, right? Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, Shopify. We give you the system, which we like to call the command center. This is what connects across all of these marketplaces. So when somebody orders from one channel, we deduct the inventory and then update the rest of the platforms. That way you have synced inventory at all times, right? And there's no discrepancies. Once you start with us, we give you the platform, we connect it, we get you set up. When orders are being generated from the marketplaces, our system catches those orders and is sent to our operations team for picking and packing. Now, there's a lot more detail in how we do it, right? I don't want to bore you to death with all of the details, but all of the things that we do at our facilities are guided by our platform and our technology.
I see.
So the picker knows where to pick from, what item to pick. So the platform is telling him, do this, do this, do this, do this. And naturally, once the picker does that, they hand it over to the packer. The packer uses our platform to pack, record, and do everything. And then we hand it over to the courier, right? So that is a very simplified version of the process, but all of that is and there's so much more, but all of that is driven by the technology that we've built, which is fully proprietary. We built it from the ground up to be able to offer to the brand. So when they work with us, they're not working with a traditional 3PL that's walking around with a pen and a paper, right? That's the old school way of doing it.
Yes, exactly.
We are a more modern 3PL.
I see. Thank you so much. So then, how with this in 1 year, how are logistic trends changing right now? Do you see any changes? And how does your company approach differ from traditional logistic method and those of the companies? I think you talked about already a little bit. If there is another like a different point you would like to mention, please tell us.
Yeah, so the landscape of e-commerce is ever changing, especially in what I still like to call the Philippines. It's still kind of like an infant market, right? It hasn't really matured, and there's new changes coming in. That as a 3PL, you have to be, dynamic and versatile enough to be able to adjust as the trends are changing. One of the biggest changes and biggest drivers of e-commerce GMV, and what they call GMV is gross merchandise value, right? How much money is being generated on these platforms. A lot of that has come from live commerce, right? Which may not be very popular, right? But in China, it is very popular. So that is where it originated from. And it's really just the action of selling a product, but doing it with a live person on the other end, right? Where they are talking about the product, they're sharing the product, you're interacting with the seller, right? So like a lot of trends are happening and a lot of changes are happening, which force us, the logistics company, to have to adjust to some of these trends to accommodate it. What makes us different is that, number one, we are operators first. So to give you a little bit of insight, I was a previous brand owner before.
Yeah, okay.
So I look at operations from a brand's perspective.
Okay, that's
because
good.
I was the brand. And to be honest with you, the reason why I launched this service is because I saw that there was a huge gap between what I felt the service should be for the brands versus the reality that existed in the space. So because I look at it from the lens of the brand and the seller, I essentially built the service and the platform that I wish I had when I was a brand and when I had my own products that I was selling on these channels.
Yeah.
And the way that I knew that we had to differentiate was by actually building the technology that allows us to do what is necessary for the brands. Most 3PLs in the Philippines are either number one, so there's like 3 categories. Number one, you are traditional, meaning you're walking around with pen and paper.
Yeah.
Right? Some of that still happens.
Yeah.
Most 3PLs are using technology, but it's kind of like a off the shelf. And what I mean about off the shelf is that they are leasing a platform.
Yes.
Right? They're leasing a platform from a software provider, meaning someone else built the platform.
Yes.
And they're paying to use that platform. We are one of the few that built the platform and the services. Most businesses focus on one, not both.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Either you build technology or you provide services.
Yeah.
Right? Our angle was, I'm an operator. I know what brands want because I was a brand.
Yes, exactly.
We need to build the technology because when you build the technology, you can accommodate the ever-changing, like the changes that happen. We can adjust to it because we own the platform and we can change the platform. Yes. When you don't own it and you lease it, you can't just go to your provider and say, hey, change this.
Yes.
Right? Especially in the Philippines, that most of the technology here is being imported from other countries. So it's not being constructed locally. It's being imported in with other countries in mind first. So the software providers are like, hey, we can't do that because it doesn't serve all of our other countries.
It's not easy to localize each service.
Exactly. So for us, we came in with the mindset of how do we differentiate ourselves? We know what the brands want. Let's build what we know they want. And if there's things that need to change, we have the ability to change it versus just looking around and saying, hey, we can't do anything because it's not our platform. So that is the reason why we've been able to grow so fast because no one provides this solution the way that we provide it.
Yes, exactly. Sounds perfect. Okay. So the next question, from your perspective, is there any type of request that makes you think this company could improve the way they manage their logistics? Or as a logistic provider, what do you think make customer requests well planned and easy to execute?
So because, I look at it from the lens of a brand first, anytime I see gaps on what a brand is doing, I'll be honest, I can't help myself. I will reach out to the brands and give them suggestions and say, hey guys, right? You don't have to follow my advice, but here are some things that I would suggest that you do to improve. And to be honest, a lot of we deal with a lot of big brands now, but the problems are kind of always the same. It's just proper forecasting on inventory. It's understanding sales volumes, understanding proper allocation of inventory, like based on seasonality, understanding the ever-changing, right, kind of needs of the brands. And it's really just understanding, right, from the customers, the brand understanding the customers, but it's just really understanding their numbers and how to best position their brands, right? Which within our platform, we've done a lot of features and functions that create virtual bundles and GWPs, which are like gift with purchases, and trying to tell the brands like in the Philippines and in Southeast Asia, consumers really love a gamified experience, right? Buy this, get this free, right? Or buy. So understanding, again, customer behavior and being able to apply that to how you run your business versus just posting products and thinking that's right. That's some of the biggest areas of improvement, right? Again, forecasting inventory. They run out of stocks because they don't know that this is the time that these products are highest in demand. So, and it's kind of the same across a lot of the brands, right? And it's just lack of understanding of their numbers. But and again, we try to help them and we try to give them the tools. But in the end, we're not the brand, so we can't take action. All we can do is give them the recommendations of what they should do. So those are some of the things that I see. You know, a lot of it as well is or one of them, you know, it's just is the experience. It's a lot of brands don't understand the experience of what their customer goes through when they receive their product, right? So the process of, you know, as a customer, and I'm sure you've bought things online before.
Yes, for sure.
Right? And it's like there's an excitement for you to receive your item, right? How that item is displayed to the customer, especially for a first-time customer, when they open up that item, what is the experience that you're generating? What is that feeling that you're garnering from that customer, right? And how are you positioning your product to give this amazing, right? One of the companies that has done this very well is Apple, right? Where the experience is very unique, and finding ways to cater to that, right? And it doesn't have to be that you revamp your entire product, right? But simple gestures, adding a thank you card, customizing the unboxing experience. So when the customer opens and receives that, they're amazed by the level of detail.
True.
And even though it might cost you a little bit more, but once you win a customer over, they could become a long lifetime customer of yours. So it's a worth investment that not a lot of companies do, because they don't want to increase that extra. They don't want to spend that extra revenue. But it's so important that if they did it, it will pay for itself in the long run, right? But again, you can't force this upon the brands. You can just suggest it and recommend it. Some brands understand it and they apply it. Other brands, they don't. And, you know, it's okay. But those are some of the things that I see from working with brands in areas that could be improved. And, you know,
I see. Thank you very much. So very interesting. And so next topic is gonna be the reality and the strengths of back office operation of a company. So the first question is gonna be, please share with us the full scope of operations handled by Inspire, such as from order processing, packaging, and inventory management to shipping, payment collection, and the returns handling. And which process do you think particularly important?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of them are important,
Of course.
right? You know, I would tell you that if I were to rank it and categorize them, right, it may be in a certain order. I would tell you that speed is important, but accuracy is even more important. Right. So making sure that your customer receives exactly what they purchased in the condition that they're expecting the product, right? Because the last thing that you want to do is to disappoint a customer when they receive it. It's not what they expect, right? So, you know, what we do as a 3PL is really remove this, and we try to remove this from the brands. And we're like, hey, listen, this is our level of expertise. Managing the inventory, picking and packing, doing it efficiently, right? Making sure that customer journey is something that the customer really enjoys, right? Because if they enjoy it, they come back. And if they don't enjoy that customer journey, then they don't come back. Most brands are not experts in running a warehousing and fulfillment center. That is not their level of expertise. their level of expertise is creating a great product.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And being able to market that product so that people will buy it. And so for us, it's like, hey, listen, we want to let you, the brand, focus on the things that you're great at.
Yeah.
Right. And allow us to do the things that we're great at, to complement and work as a partnership. Right. But of course, within that is making sure that your inventory is accurate across all of the channels, right? Which is why the technology is so important. Making sure that when orders are being generated, that they're being packed accurately, shipped efficiently, and that journey, right, is something that the customer enjoys. But definitely, you know, the cash collection, to be frank with you, that's not something that is done by the 3PL. Because the marketplaces work with different, so this is the way that it usually works. The 3PL, like ourselves, we don't do the last mile delivery. That's not something that is under the responsibility of the 3PL. The last mile delivery, meaning the process of picking the item up from our facility and delivering it to the customer, is done by couriers, shipping companies. These shipping companies already work with the marketplaces. So Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, they already have a network of all of the shipping companies, right? And then they choose which of this. So the cash collection is not done by us. It's done by the courier that is delivering that order. They collect the money. They send it back to the marketplace. Like Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, and then the marketplaces deduct their fees and then pay the brand. Right? So it's not necessarily, that's why cash collection is important, but it's not something that we control. So it's hard for me to categorize that. But the more important things is making sure that your orders are picked, packed, and shipped accurately. And that your inventory is accurate across all of the channels that you're selling. And again, that is what we are experts in. And that is the burden that we lift off the brands to say, hey, you don't need to focus on this. Focus on the things that matter. We will take care of this part. And that's kind of the way that the partnership works. You know, but there is a time where brands need to outsource. You shouldn't be outsourcing from the beginning, I think. A lot of brands, they do it internally first, right? If you can do it from the beginning, great, right? But some brands, they do it internally first until they realize this is not our expertise, right? Like we can't, like we're creating a bad experience. All of the customers that we're trying to win, we're losing them by giving them a bad experience. Which is when they realize, like, hey, we should just outsource this to the people that do this well.
I see. So how does your in-house developed fusion system help manage and optimize operation across multiple channels?
Well, it's just, number one is giving the brands visibility, right? So our platform, again, as I mentioned earlier, is intended to be the command center. And when I say command center, this is like your headquarters of your e-commerce operation, right? Because if you don't use a platform like ours, imagine this, right? Some brands are selling in 5 different channels. Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, Shopify, Zalora. These are 5 unique channels.
Oh, okay.
If they're not using a service like ours or a platform like ours, if they want to understand their inventory, they have to go to 5 different locations.
Yep, exactly.
Check Lazada, check TikTok, check Zalora. And if they don't have a system that allows the communication between these platforms to happen, what ends up happening is that if somebody purchases from one channel, they have to manually adjust the others. Example, let's say that you have 100 items, this cell phone. Let's say that you sell cell phones. You have 100 pieces, 100 on all of your channels, 5 channels, right? If somebody buys one piece from one channel, you have to manually update the other 4
The
99,
inventories.
99,
Yes, yeah.
99, 99, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we like to do is to centralize all of these into one platform that communicates across all of them.
I see.
But also gives you the visibility and understanding to be able to know what is happening, right? So our system is the bridge across their entire operations that allows for one centralized view to happen by communicating with all of their platforms, right? So it's that is essentially the function of Fusion, right? If you want to know the name, the name of our platform is called Fusion.
Fusion, yes.
The reason why it's called Fusion because it's fusing all of your channels.
I see. That's why.
Together, right? So fusion comes from the word fuse. Fuse means to interconnect, right? All in one place, which is why technology is so important, and why brands realize this very quickly as they're adding more channels. They realize like I need something that manages everything.
Yes.
Versus trying to do everything, individually. It's just you get a lot of gray hairs very fast.
For sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. I would like to move to next topic. So the trending Japanese product and the volume trends. The question is from the perspective of logistics and fulfillment operations. Are there any product categories seeing increased volume in the Philippines? Please tell us about product group with the high actual volume, not limited e-commerce, even the actual market too.
Okay, so there's I'll do both. I'll give you a separation of e-commerce and then traditional, right, outside. Because we operate in e-commerce, I'll start there. Right, e-commerce is every platform focuses on different things, but generally speaking, beauty, it's the number one category.
I see. Yeah, I can tell that. Yes.
Beauty, women in Southeast Asia, they like to beautify themselves, right? So there's a lot of collagen, a lot of like cosmetics, right? Yes. All of this is categorized into one group, which is the dominant category. Second would be apparel. Right? So beauty, number one, apparel, number two, electronics, number three. Okay. Those are the main category drivers. And right now, there are three major platforms, right? I mentioned five, but marketplaces, there's four, but marketplaces that are really dominant. Shopee accounts for 55% of the total e-commerce market.
Oh, right? I see.
TikTok accounts for roughly around 30%.
It's kind of growing right now, right?
Yeah. TikTok is a brand new platform. It's only been around for a few years.
Yes, right.
And it's already overlapped Lazada, which has been around since the early 2000s, right? Yes. 2015, 16. So within a very short period, TikTok has leapfrogged Lazada. Right. So Shopee, TikTok, Lazada, and then there's everything else, which are your Shopify, your Zalora, and the other channels, right? But the major categories are beauty, apparel, and then obviously electronics. Outside of that, you can kind of categorize it the same in like traditional retail, mostly apparel. Apparel would be number one, right? And then of home goods, and it kind of just works down that list. But at least for e-commerce, those are the three main drivers of what we call GMV, gross merchandise value.
I see. So in Asian country, what product category have high shipment volumes, including product made in Japan or other countries? Are there any differences in the trend by the country?
Yeah, so I mean, I think historically across Southeast Asia, beauty and cosmetics, it's number one in the Philippines, it's number one in Thailand, it's number one in Malaysia. I think that is the one thing.
Yeah, in Vietnam too.
Right, Vietnam. Listen, the e-commerce market is it's driven by a lot of women. Women love to shop, right? And women love to take care of themselves.
Yes.
So it makes sense, right? It makes sense. From Japan, I wouldn't tell you that there's a top category that comes to mind, but what I will tell you is that there is a perceived notion of when you think Japan products, and that the number one thing that comes to mind is quality. Like across whatever you're purchasing, if you're purchasing an electronic that is made in Japan, if you're purchasing a product, if it comes from Japan, the automatic assumption that the Philippines and anyone across Southeast Asia, and I will also tell you in the US, because I was raised in the US, when you hear Japan products, the first thing that comes to mind is quality products, right? You may pay a little bit of a premium, right? So it's not going to be the lowest price product.
Yeah.
But you're okay with that because you're getting a premium product, right? So from a category perspective, right? I don't know exactly the main source of product from Japan. To be honest with you, AXIA and Kokuya are our first Japanese brand. I am in negotiations with my second Japanese brand that should be closing in the next few weeks.
Oh, nice.
But the one thing I know that relates to the Filipinos is with Japan products is really just quality. That's no matter what it is, you're getting top quality products.
I see. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm proud of us Japanese.
Yeah, very much.
Thank you. So based on your experience, are there any common characteristics among products which tended to returns or receive complaint?
Yeah. Well, that's easy. Apparel. Apparel. And this is not just in the Philippines. This is worldwide. Apparel has the highest level of return across all categories. And it makes sense. You know why? Because it's based on a lot of sizing, right? Like some products, until you put it on, you don't realize the way that it actually looks on you.
Yep.
Right? Which is why, retail and selling apparel in a physical location will never disappear, because people are still very hesitant on buying a particular garment because they don't know how their body will look. And also, depending on where the product is manufactured from, the sizing varies. So so small in Korea may be different from small in a different country, right?
Yeah. That's true.
Because there's so many variants in a product where there might be small, extra small, large, right? And there's so much complexity behind apparel, it does have, generally speaking, around a 27% worldwide return rate because of those characteristics, because there's a lot of variants. And sometimes, even if it is your right size, a person puts it on and they're like, this just doesn't look good on me.
I know, right?
Right. And then
every time when the model, well, it looks good.
Yeah. Until you put it on, that's the only time that you know.
Sure.
And if it doesn't look good, the first thing to do is just return and send it back.
Right. True. That's why 27%. Understandable. So what type of the product tended to be most successful among the Philippines? Is there any specific factor?
Anything that enhances, because beauty is the number one category, anything that enhances the appeal, anything that makes you look younger. Right? If it has an impact on your physical appearance, it will do very well.
I see.
Yes. Any impact on physical characteristics, whether it makes you look whiter, whether it makes your wrinkles disappear, whether all of that if it has an impact on your physical outlook, it does really well.
I see. That's kind of easy to understand.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, let me move to the next topic. It's gonna be the last topic.
Sure.
The support for Japanese companies entering the market, collaboration with AXIA. So the first question is gonna be, when Japanese companies launch e-commerce operation in Philippines, what are the common stumbling blocks they face in a back office operation, and how does your company address these challenges?
So one of the challenges that happens is not understanding the different customer audiences and behaviors on a per platform basis. Every platform has a different behavior, right? And they look at all of the platforms as the same. It's all the same, right? People buy, but no, every platform is very different. Shopee is a more search intent, right? But also low pricing. So people that go to Shopee, it's because they want the lowest price possible. Okay. When you go to TikTok, it's more of a content-driven platform where the brand has to create content for the product because people are not going to TikTok to necessarily buy, right? They're going to get content and it ends up converting into a purchase, right? So, and this is not just Japanese brands. I think all brands that enter the Philippines, right? They look at it from one lens. Also, it's just so understanding where they need to put their product, right? I don't recommend doing an omni-channel distribution all at the same time. I would always suggest to do the channel that best fits your brand, learn from that channel, and then expand across the other channels, not doing it in parallel, meaning not doing it at the same time, right? So those are some of the blockers that I see, right? Now, some of the other, like the challenges of what we do, this same things that I mentioned earlier is just giving you visibility, giving you understanding of your products, right? What we do, which is a little different, is that because again, I come from an operator's mindset, is that I have close communications with all of the brands and they get the perspective and I'm like, hey, we should focus on this, or hey, you should consider this, right? But again, it's ultimately up to the brand to decide. AXIA was just at our facilities about a month ago or 3 weeks ago, and I did the same thing. You should focus here, you should focus here, just giving them different strategies that they may not be exposed to because they're not from here, right? So me sharing that, of course. So that's how we like to help the brands that we work with, is giving them not just the tech and the services, but giving them the insights.
Yes, that's important.
Insights of what the market is like and how they should be positioning their brand is some of the value proposition that we offer the companies. And it's just like, hey, you're not just getting a warehousing and fulfillment partner, you're getting an actual partner that is going to try to help you and put you in the best position for success. Because in the end, your success is our success.
For sure.
Right?
That is partnership.
Exactly.
I see. Okay. So, based on your experience handling large volume of shipments, are there any trends regarding the characteristic of Japanese companies or product categories that tend to succeed in the Philippine market? It's gonna be, I think, the beauty category. Or
no, I think any product that is well positioned that comes from Japan has a tremendous advantage, right? I don't think it's bound to a specific category. I think it's bound to a specific brand positioning. How do you position the product to the brand? Because you're already coming in with the benefit of people knowing that it is made in Japan, right? That automatically gives you credibility. that automatically gives you trust.
I see. Yeah.
Right? So you got the trust, but then it's how are you going to position? So it's not about the category of the product. It's more on the positioning of how you showcase this products and maximize the leverage that you already have with the trust, which in the Philippines is the hardest thing to earn. Earning the trust of the customer is the hardest thing. Japanese products already gained that advantage because they have that trust. Now it's just delivering on that trust and it's positioning of the brand. Right? Yeah.
I see. I think you already talked about, but may I ask you again, what value do you believe the partnership between AXIA Promotion and the Trading Philippine Corporation and Inspire will create for Japanese companies? I think
it's just knowing that you don't just have a warehousing and fulfillment partner, that you have a brand partner.
Yes.
Someone that genuinely, like I gain, and not just me, but our entire team, right? We gain so much satisfaction in knowing that we are the partner that we wish we had when we were a brand, right? And giving them an understanding of the market, giving them an understanding of things to do, right? And giving them a different outlook that they may not have, right? So of course, the value proposition is our technology and everything else, but it goes above and beyond that. It goes, sometimes I will have a call with founders and they're like, Darwin, can we take 30 minutes of your time? And they're like, hey, we're going through these problems. We have these challenges. What do you think? That doesn't really happen in a normal 3PL. A normal 3PL is like, hey, we have your products. You generate sales. We pick, pack, and ship.
Yeah.
That's the summary of the relationship. But when founders know that I am one WhatsApp message away or I'm one Viber message away, and that they can reach out to a founder that has been in their position before. And our team is built around people that have worked in Shopee, that have worked in different marketplaces. So they know what the space is. It provides a lot of peace of mind to the brand owners because, hey, if I'm struggling with something, I can call my warehouse provider or my tech provider and actually discuss other challenges, which is not very common in the Philippines. I believe we're one of the few that actually go above and beyond outside of picking, packing, and technology.
Yes. I see. Thank you. So the last is gonna be, could you please share your message for a Japanese company considering expanding business into the Philippines?
So my message to all the brands is, very important to understand the market, understand consumer behavior, understand your product, your brand, and as I mentioned earlier, right, and how to position the brand. But more importantly, to make sure that you do your due diligence in choosing the partner that you're going to walk this journey with. Right? Very important. And there's options out there, one thing that every time I speak to a brand, I give them the options of all of our competitors. Which is unheard of, right? I give them a list. These are the top companies. I want you to speak to them. And I want you to speak to them because I want you to see the difference. Right? We are so confident in our service, in our quality of our service, but I don't want you to just take my word for it. Right? I want you to go out there and talk to the rest of the people. And once you talk to them, the decision it gets very simple because you're like, okay, like they're not like Inspire, right? So it's very important that you do your homework, that you speak to the providers that are in the space, and that you don't just focus on who's going to give me the cheapest price possible, but it is who's going to give me the holistic service that is going to help me really grow into the market and position my brand to be a key player in the e-commerce space in whatever category you might be focused on. So if you're interested in coming to the Philippines, this is a growing economy, 110 million people, very hungry for top quality products that your country produces. It's just time to import them into the Philippines and get them to see and taste and feel some of that high quality product that is manufactured in Japan and be put in the hands of these 110 Filipino consumers that are craving for quality products and are running away from the cheap, generic Chinese goods that have flooded the market. That would be my message to them.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time.